If you think silver is just a shiny trinket, then think again. It's the backbone of modern technology, a cornerstone for green energy, and now a silent disruptor poised to shake the global economy. As the world teeters on the brink of economic transformation, silver's role has never been more critical or more ignored. So with supply deficits, skyrocketing industrial demand, and a price that's vastly underrepresents its real value, silver isn't just a commodity, it's a revolution waiting to happen. So in this video here, I want to share a few things worth paying attention to, which are things that can't be ignored. And the first one, silver's rising demand that's become the talk of the town, on top of a stagnating supply, all encompass the idea that artificially suppressed value is what will make it the most jaw-dropping news when the actual price is eventually discovered. And it's because these three forces are converging heading into 2025, which is creating a financial storm that could redefine wealth as we know it. So let's talk about this one. All right, so take a minute, share some thoughts in reference to some silver activity. And so as of now, the spot price has made way below $30 an ounce. And so that's definitely something that I believe is an intentional act by the bullion banks in trying to protect themselves from some of the things I want to discuss in this video here. And it has everything to do with the supply side of things and how it's becoming even harder to keep this manipulation up within the paper industry in and of itself. And so I believe some of these key factors I'm going to talk about are definitely things worth paying attention to, especially heading into the new year, where silver will continue to remain a hot topic within the investment community. So as always, if you guys want to see more of these little short takes, definitely hit that thumbs up button and drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on all the subject matter. And then if you're new, make sure you subscribe so you'll never miss when I put out one of these little quick deep dives where I try to just make sense of all the craziness happening in the financial world. But in my opinion, one of the things that's always on the forefront of everybody's minds happen to be the shadow of manipulation. And so what exactly do I mean by that? It's the question that everyone who's been in silver for any length of time might have at this current moment, which is, why isn't silver trading at its real true value? And so the financial giants and central banks clearly have their fingers on the scale, trying to manipulate the market to keep silver undervalued so that the world don't realize the true nature of what has always been considered the people's money. And so unlike gold, which grabs headlines as a safe haven asset usually, silver's unique role in industrial application makes it an even bigger threat to the financial elite's control. So the best way to look at it is to think of silver like the unsung hero in your favorite movie. It's doing all the heavy lifting while gold basks in the spotlight. So you got electric vehicles, solar panels, and medical technology. So all of those industries rely heavily on silver. So the more transition to a green, tech-driven future, the more indispensable silver becomes. But here's the kicker. Manipulation can't last forever. So the tighter the financial noose, the louder the eventual snap when it occurs. So when silver finally breaks free from the suppression by the powers that be, the ripple effects will hit everything from the stock market all the way to your wallet. And so the next main point worth considering is the fact that exploding demand will meet stagnant supply. And so industrial demand for silver is projected to hit a record-breaking 1.21 billion ounces by the end of this year. And so driven by the surge in investment in green technologies and uncertain global economy, solar panels alone consume about 140 million ounces as of last year. And that number is going to climb even more heading into 2025. But yet, despite the growing appetite, silver production has been flat for over a decade now. So recycling efforts barely make up a dent, contributing only to about 15% of the total supply. So this is like trying to quench a wildfire with just a garden hose. So imagine hosting a party for 100 guests, but having food supply for only 50. It's not going to end well. So this supply-demand imbalance is creating the perfect storm for silver's price to eventually skyrocket. And then last, you got silver's real value. What is it? Nobody knows. And so as of right now, the previous ceilings have been hit just twice, and that's about $50 an ounce. And so as of right now, hovering around the $30 mark, we're still quite a ways away from touching that $50 mark. And so it's that 30 to 35, which over the last couple of months have appeared to be problematic for the bullion banks. And so hence we witnessed the intense pressure in the futures market of all the bullion banks trying to cover up their behinds by creating more paper to then dump so that the price continues to trend downward. But as always, it's hard to keep the truth making its way to the surface, because if it's not done in the Western Hemisphere, the Eastern nations such as China, India, and Russia that operate in the physical realm, they're trying to snatch up as much silver as they can, therefore causing a lot of that Western supply to make its way out east, therefore creating more of a tighter supply crunch. And so clearly, and everybody else in the silver community, that silver definitely is a sleeping giant. And its current price is somewhat laughable when compared to its true worth. So historically speaking, the gold to silver ratio has always hovered around 15 to 1. Yet today it's over 80 to 1. And so this disconnect signals just one thing. Silver is wildly undervalued. So as a lot of analysts predict, silver could test $49 per ounce by the midway point or towards the end of 2025. But even that seems conservative given the broader market dynamics. So think of silver like a coiled spring with decades of manipulation and which has stored enormous potential energy. And so when it releases, I would imagine that this leap will be systemic in nature. And so it definitely will be something that the mainstream media can't hide, because the end result of whatever that event that led to this surging price of silver, when it happens, will definitely be impacting a variety of other sectors as well. So at the end of the day, the bigger picture isn't just about silver, it's about the crumbling foundation of the financial system as we know it. And so the old guard of central banks and currency is being challenged by future-driven technology along with sustainability and decentralized finance. And at the heart of it all, it requires silver. As we head into 2025, the signs are becoming even more clear that silver is no longer just a mere asset, it's the linchpin of a global transformation. And so the question isn't if silver will rise, it's whether you'll be ready when it does rise. And so once again, just taking a minute to share some of my thoughts on this subject matter, because with all the euphoria in the digital asset space, and of course some of the headlines, news over the last couple of months mentioning gold, we can clearly see that going towards gold and silver is not the intended direction that the powers that be or the central bankers or even our own government wants to even talk about. But then again, that's why we have the alternative media, so we can cover things like this so that you'll always be mindful of the fact of where true intrinsic value lies. And as always, there's no point in talking about all this information without actually giving people a chance to participate in the activity directly. And the best way to do that, in my personal opinion, is to be a part of a silver network where you can actually set up your own community that helps other people secure the most undervalued asset of all time, which is silver. So the best way to do that is by doing just two things: setting up an automatic monthly cycle of silver being sent to you directly, where you don't have to worry about the ebbs and flows of daily price activity, like having an automatic withdrawal from your check or something like that that's done automatically, and then setting up your own personal bullion store where you can actually share that information with family and friends so that you can participate in the silver industry directly by having your own network. And so the best way to do that and to find out more about that is to consider the Silver Team, which I'm a part of and have helped now dozens of people within the community get their weight up along the way. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, consider joining mysilverteam.com. Links in the description. You can get all the details you need there. And then if you're more on the gold side and want access to some of the most affordable gold in the market today from an investment standpoint, then you can get the gold notes, which are 24 karat gold notes that, in my opinion, are the cheapest and just another way of adding to your silver or your gold stack. And if you're interested in finding out more about that, go to buygoldnotes.com. Links in the description as well. But other than that, just taking a minute, sharing my 2 cents on these matters. Curious to hear what you think. If you found value, as always, hit that thumbs up button, drop a comment, make sure you subscribe so you'll never miss a deep dive, and then I'll catch you in the next one. Enjoy your day.